live tonight to show us exactly how it works and what it costs.
Not getting through. Take a look at some of the very latest ways to keep bad guys with guns out of your schools and see why it could also protect where you work or worship. Picture your kids on the other side of these windows. The I-Team rolling for a demonstration of the newest bulletproof materials, the newest protections for schools against a gunman trying to go on a rampage.
If we can keep an active shooter in the parking lot, we can keep a bad actor in the parking lot, we win.
A look from behind the glass taking a pounding. We found a crowd of police officers and school safety managers checking it out, asking questions at the Stonewall shooting range, the very latest materials to reinforce doors, windows, and walls, some barely noticeable but not breaking. Take another look at how thin some of this stuff is. In fact, this is almost as thin as paper. Now, what about the cost? We asked. We found it can cost $250 to $300 to cover a door or window, and that can add up. So we also wondered, how can a school district now afford this kind of security?
How do we fortify our front doors without making it look like a prison?
The Ohio Schools Council tells us districts are now scrambling for a piece of $5 million in state grant money. Akron schools already have installed similar protections in some buildings. The folks here point out, overall, school shootings are rare, but they can happen anywhere.
If you buy car insurance, you don't expect to get in an accident, but it's something that could happen.
And security experts say what you see is also getting a hard look from businesses and churches beefing up security. Very often, an attacker comes right in the front or back door.
We realize where those vulnerability points are. You do not need to put the window film and everything on the entire school.
Learning about the newest ways to help make sure your child can learn in peace. The deadline for schools to apply for some of that grant money just weeks away, so some of this protection could be coming to a school near you.
You talk about the cost there, $250, $300 for doors and windows.
Sure.
You can run out of money in a hurry, but as we just heard there, you can also prioritize.
And they really have studied this, where these gunmen come into these schools most often, and they have really narrowed it down into what are the most common ways they get in, how do they do it. So these are some of the ways they're now building some of these security plans.
Yeah, very, very promising technology there.
Sure.
Ed, thank you. Parents of students at Hudson High School are upset over a college-level writing assignment that included adult themes and they find inappropriate. Fox 8's Jack Shea says the book has now been pulled from the classroom and an investigation is underway to find out how it became part of the curriculum.
You're a serial killer. What's on your DVR and why?
Monica Haven says she was horrified when she learned that her 17-year-old daughter, a student at Hudson High School, had been given a writing journal in her college credit English course that contained inappropriate themes. The book, called 642 Things to Write About, invited students to write about a variety of topics, including some that were of a personal, intimate nature.
I would be completely appalled if somebody asked me to write about those things, and I'm a grown woman.
Hudson parents question how any teacher or administrator could have found it acceptable for their children to write about those topics.
I don't think any of my corporate clients would tolerate it. Someone would be fired, someone would lose their job.
One parent who is a lawyer points out that some of the topics invite the students to engage in illegal behavior, such as consuming alcohol.
It's immediately evident that someone who instructs a minor to break the law is committing a crime themselves. I mean, that is contributing to the delinquency of a minor. That's a first-degree misdemeanor.
And the parents say they were especially disturbed when they learned that the book had been part of the curriculum for the past 6 years.
It's clear that as a district we did not properly review this resource, and for that we sincerely apologize.
Hudson School Superintendent Phil Herman says the district was unaware of the inappropriate content in the book until a parent brought it to their attention last Friday. The writing journals were then collected from students on Monday.
An independent investigation is now underway to determine how these supplemental materials were reviewed and approved.
How has this book been in your class or in your school for 6 years, and the teachers and the principals and the board were unaware of it? That's egregious.
Parents say they have serious questions about the ethical and moral standing of any school employee who would knowingly assign the writing journal to a student.
Who does that? It's mind-blowing and poor judgment.
Jack Shea, Fox 8 News in Hudson.
More to come on that for sure. We're told the investigation will focus on teachers and administrators who are aware of the adult themes and still allow the journal to be assigned each year.
The Fox 8 team has uncovered video showing a local postal worker in trouble with the law facing a charge for what police say happened when he was delivering mail. IT reporter Peggy Gallick shows us why it left some of your neighbors disgusted.
Public indecency. Yes, that's what urinating in public is.
This Broadview Heights police body camera video shows an officer issuing a citation to a United States postal carrier accused of urinating on a mailbox in a condominium development in Broadview Heights on September 3rd.
They said you were urinating on a mailbox. They're out of their minds.
The mailman told the officer he just spilled a bottle of water. The officer, however, said there was enough evidence to charge him.
Based on, again, the smell of urine in the area and witness testimony.
The mailman is now facing a public indecency charge. The postal carrier is expected in Broadview Heights Mayor's Court next week to face the misdemeanor charge.
Went down there and said, why is this guy still on the route?
Rick Gallagher, who has lived in the development for 12 years, says he was upset to learn the mailman is still on their route delivering the mail, even though he is currently facing the charge.
I went up and asked him about it. He seemed pretty combative, and then I was just blown away that he was still on the route. I just assumed he would have been taken off of it. That's really my only concern. I don't know what their procedure is for how they discipline employees, but he shouldn't be here anymore.
We sent several emails to post office officials asking to discuss the issue. USPS officials released a statement saying in part, the actions described in this case are unacceptable employee behavior. The Postal Service neither condones nor tolerates this type of alleged behavior by any employee.
Spoke with your postal supervisors. They want you to continue your route, finish your day.
Tenants say they want another mail carrier.
He seems pretty combative with everybody who's talked to him about it instead of being apologetic. So we're worried about retaliation.
In Broadview Heights, Peggy Gallick, Fox 8 IT.
Peggy, thank you there. A spokesperson with the Postal Service also told us they are investigating the incident. They do not know how long the investigation will take.
Sad announcement here. He was best known for his deadpan delivery of the fake news on Saturday Night Live. Stand-up comedian Norm MacDonald has died.
Thank you. I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news.
MacDonald made his greatest impact as anchor of SNL's Weekend Update during the mid-1990s. He later appeared in his own sitcom and had roles in several films alongside his former SNL castmates Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider. Most recently, he got a talk show on Netflix. That was in 2018. His manager says MacDonald died after a secret 9-year-long battle with cancer, one he kept private from just about everybody. Norm MacDonald was just 61 years old.
Well, Shots for Shots still ahead tonight at 6 o'clock. The latest bars and restaurants added to the growing list of requiring COVID vaccines for entry. Hi, Melissa.
Another really hot day here, just shy of 90. It's humid too, and now we're waiting some storms that are just upstream. We'll track those and talk about the rest of your 8-day forecast after this break.
I'm Amanda Berry. Please stop what you're doing for just a second. I'm going to show you the face of a missing person. This is Sean Jones. He is 14 and was last seen the night of August 24th in Cleveland. That day, Sean wore black sweatpants and a black t-shirt. Police have reason to believe he could be in the area of Huff and East 83rd. If you know anything, please call Cleveland Police at 216-623-3082. Thanks for your help. We're making a big difference together. I'm Amanda Berry, Fox 8 News.